back to back. That 2 day motherfucker. Yeah, we're gonna keep pushing. So we're gonna try to get through this whole book. Probably not today. Depends on what the vibes like today, who all short today. It is. Um, but we finna finish the next chapter, Practical Vedanta. Uh, what we call it? Chapter 2. I mean, chapter 4. We on chapter 4. Peace, peace. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? To my fellow cosmic P pushers. What's happening? So we in this motherfucker. What we gonna do is let the beat build up while we get ready to keep on talking, keep pushing this cosmic P. Some love it, some hate it. Zero, what's happening? What's happening, Brody? What's happening, my guy? Zero, the cosmic P pushing hero. What's up, bro? Hope your day been going good, man. Standing on P, that's what we love to hear. Hold up. Let me get this over here so I can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to. Man, my what's the name ain't been working good. My streaming software ain't been working too good. I was supposed to be live 20 minutes ago, but I don't know what's going on with the software. It won't pick up my webcam, so it don't seem like it's nothing that I can do about that. So I'll leave that alone and just have to go live from my phone. So that's what we on here today. Trying to upload the thumbnail from the computer though, straight through YouTube. Let's see who show up, man. Depends on how this shit get to going. Everybody was talking about they wish I came back again. So we gonna do this shit again. Or what they were saying, like do another one. Stream twice a week. Ain't at that point just yet. But you know, we gonna get there. We still trying to let the beat build. Where y'all at with it? Where the gang at? Probably need to drop it inside of the Discord as well. Peace, y'all. Peace, peace. We finna get into this this 4th chapter, Swami Vivekananda, Young Yoga. Seems like everybody been loving this non-dualism, pure cosmic P, pure unconditioned consciousness, pure awareness, as far as it goes as to being an enlightened being around this motherfucker. And where the fuck everybody at? Where the fuck everybody at, man? Everybody still at work? Maybe so. But this is what we talking about. Non-dualism, pure awareness as a spiritual practice. As the standard operating procedure. And that's the principle that we stand on. As y'all know, it's S-O motherfucking P. That's S-O-P. Standing on principle, standing on purpose. And our standard operating procedure is to always take that time, any time that we can. Yeah. Every time that you can, you get the chance to stand back and take the observer mode on. View yourself, view your actions, view your thoughts, view your mind, view your attachments. What attachments do you have? Have I ever cursed someone? I have cursed someone. I have. Yup. Cursed their ass clean the fuck out. Get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my life. Back then, I didn't have the sense to step in and step up and tap into awareness of self, right? I didn't have the sense or the proper tools to ultimately observe myself and my thoughts and my actions. See, now I got that. So, won't nobody get me out my character like that. See, when people come in and ask me or say shit, I did not know Nike made women's hats. Dot, 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 dot. He. So, that don't mean shit to me. This is how we living and pushing cosmic P. What's the cosmic P? Pure consciousness, pure awareness. They are forgiven because I had to forgive myself first. After I forgave myself, gave myself some grace, the person that I cussed out, I didn't curse. I cussed. I used profanity, but I've never cursed anyone. There was never a need in my life for me to curse anyone, in the sense that magicians like to talk about. I'm not cursing anyone. I don't need to. I've never needed to. Because I'm going to tell you, I come from a place where if you have a problem with somebody, you got to handle that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in the most dangerous way, sometimes in the less dangerous way. You hear what I'm saying? So, I'm trying to get all I can. Oh, that's because this is in a fucking way. Fuck it, man. We just gonna go from here, man. So, we back from yesterday. We finna hop into Practical Vedanta, Chapter 4. For those who are just joining us, please hit that like button. Y'all know, do your little your yoga karmic duty by hitting that like button. Let YouTube know that people actually like this goddamn video or like this content that we pushing over here. And we've been understanding, getting quite a grip on what we like to call non-dualism. Vedanta, which means it's all about oneness. Not on some super lovey-dovey, we are all human beings, so let's be all great human beings and we're all humans. No! We're beyond that. We are all pure unconditioned consciousness. There is no we. It's only one. It's only you. It's only me. You know what I'm saying? That's all we gotta understand. We are the self. What we call the self. Know thyself. So, I don't know what's going on with the chat, but what we finna do is just go ahead and hop into this book read. I ain't even gotta keep on pushing it any other way. God damn it. We're gonna do it like this. Like we always do it this time. I go for mine. I like to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I'ma get on this TV, mama. I'ma put shit down. Hey. Now let me pull it up on YouTube on a laptop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You smell me? I know you smell me. I know you smell me. Let's see here. Put it up over here. Mute my computer. Boom. Let's see. Oh, it's showing clear. It's showing clear. We got action. Showing clear. So we trying to push through this part 4 because we got one chapter after this, and then for those that do know, this is what we pushing next. So what we pushing next? That will be the next book. It's $5.60 on Amazon. Y'all should be buying it, or everybody should already have it. Told y'all 2 weeks ago. So let's go. So Practical Vedanta Part 4, delivered in London, November 18th, 1896. As a certified crackhead, I love crackheads, but I don't think I'm gonna let crackheads be no mods. And don't tell him what you will do. Don't tell him what you will do. So far, we have been dealing mostly with the universal. This morning, I shall try to place before you the Vedantic ideas of the relation of the particular to the universe. As we have seen, in the earlier dualistic form of the Vedic doctrines, there was a clearly defined particular and limited soul for every being. There have been great many theories about this particular soul in each individual. But the main discussion was between the ancient Vedantists and the ancient Buddhists. Really, they had a debate. The former believing in the individual soul as complete in itself, the latter denying in total the existence of such an individual soul. As I told you the other day, it is pretty much the same discussion you have in Europe about the as to substance and qualities. One party holding that behind the qualities there is something known as substance. In which the qualities inhere. And the other denying the existence of such a substance, as being unnecessary for the qualities may exist by themselves. The most ancient theory of the soul, of course, is based upon the argument of self-identity. I am I. That the I of yesterday is the I. That I of yesterday is the I of today and will be the I of tomorrow. That in spite of all changes that are happening to the body, despite all the changes that are happening into the body, let's see. So despite all the changes that's happening in the body, yeah, Coop, I thought about you. I said, Coop said, you need to go twice a week. I just said that at the beginning of the video, motherfucker said I need to be here twice a week. God damn it, let's do it again today. You know, got a little free time, so we're going to go on and run it, Coop. I'm glad you're here, brother. The rest of the gang can show up, I wish. Hey, Coop, if you could, share this to the Discord group. Share this to the Discord group. I've been having technical difficulties over here. If you can, share it to the Discord group. If not, no biggie, bro. Just stay here, be present, brother. That in spite of all the changes that are happening to the body, I yet believe that I am the same I. This seems to have been the central argument with those who believed in a limited and yet perfectly complete individual soul. Appreciate you, Coop. On the other hand, the ancient Buddhists denied the necessity of such an assumption. They brought forward the argument that all that we know and all that we possibly can know are simply these changes. The posting of an unchangeable and unchanging substance is simply superfluous. Superfluous. And even if there were any such unchangeable thing, we could never understand it, nor should we be able to cognize it in any sense of the word. This is what the Buddhists are saying. So you'll start see the difference in Buddhism. Because I even have, what's the book I got over here? I know I got the Dzogchen Buddhist. They're a little different from your average Buddhist. They Tibetan Buddhists, but they're a little different from your, appreciate that, Coop, I see it. They're a little different from your Tibetan Buddhists, though, right? But that's a whole nother story for another day. But he's letting you know they had, thousands of years, the Buddhists and the Vedics or the Vedantists and the Samkhya Darshans and the yogis, and they did heavy work in the debate. So niggas debates is over with. So the same discussion you will find going on at the present time in Europe between religious people and the idealistic on the other side, right? and the modern positivists and the agnostics on the other. One set believing that there is something which does not change. Hold on, there's something that where we at? Where we at? What the fuck? Something which does not change, of whom the latest represent is your Herbert Spencer, and that we catch a glimpse of something which is unchangeable, and the other being represented by the modern commentists and modern agnostics. Those of you who were interested a few years ago in the discussion between Herbert Spencer and Frederick Harrison might have noticed that it was the same old difficulty. The one party standing for a substance behind the changeful, and the other party denying the necessity for such an assumption. One party says we cannot conceive of changes without conceiving of something which does not change. Sounds like the non-dualists, right? The other party brings out the argument that this is superfluous. We can only conceive of something which changes. And as to the unchanging, we can neither know, feel, nor sense it. Right? Is that not what we have been reading? Oh well, I've been reading and getting an understand of. Well, I think it's in this book too, but we're gonna get more of it in what? In this book. Oh yeah, we're gonna get more of it in this book when we hop to this bad boy. But that's what I've been, you know what I'm saying? That's what nigga been preaching and teaching over here. It's something you can't know, feel, nor sense. It just is. And you just gotta be it. Right? Like we ran through yesterday some of Kenneth Grant's books. Hold up. Put this charge in. We ran through some of Kenneth Grant books. Well, a lot of I went through a lot of books to do that Dark Veil Lifted, and just my own personal understanding of the occult in general, and then my personal experience of bringing this to fruition, to getting that understanding, like especially here with the Tree of Life. Like I told y'all, like that was the last key needed to understand what these occultists have been talking about. Because you can literally understand all these spiritual systems by understanding the Tree of Life. Or let's just say you can get a good understanding of all these spiritual systems by understanding the Tree of Life. And then you should, me personally, what I did was synthesize. Well, okay, what is everybody saying and what is everybody not saying? Okay, some people use the word soul. Some people use the word spirit. Some people say the word soul is something that dies and never goes on. Some people say the spirit is what dies and then doesn't go on. You see what I'm saying? No, so you checked the re-listen out today, Coop. That's what's up. That's what's up, Brody. That's what's up. So I'm the type of person that tries to grasp and get a cool understanding. What were the Egyptians saying? What were the Buddhists saying? What were the Christians saying? What were the Gnostics saying? What are the Apollo saying? What are Western occultism? What is a Western occultist saying? What is science saying? My guy, my dog, Rose of Flame, what's happening? So my thing is, what is everybody saying? What were the Egyptians saying? What were the pre-dynastic Egyptians saying? Even though we have very limited understanding of that, you would have to go to people like, what's that book I got on Draconian Consciousness? Can't remember. But you get to understanding that all occultism comes from the spirituality systems in the East. Then it's like, oh, duh, why the fuck not go to the East? Oh yeah, that Don Webb book, Seven Faces of Darkness. Don Webb give you a good insight into that pre-dynastic Set Typhon. You know what I'm saying? What's the name? If it's legit, fuck if I know. But it lined up, and goddamn it, our OGs, Bobby did the research and I did the research, and it seems like that's what the fuck the Set Typhon pantheon was about. if it was a pantheon at all. But spiritual system is what I'm trying to say. My bad, y'all. So it would only make sense to go to, because like the other night, me and Rosa Flame chopped it up. So he was saying, like, are we saying like I'm definitely not saying, because of what I'm saying about Western occultism, I'm not saying I will never tap into Western occultism again. So yeah, let me make that clear, because if Rosa Flame, I don't think he actually thought that, but at the same time, it may be seeming like that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck Western occultism, nigga, pure Eastern non-dualism, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita shit only. No, I just feel this is where the answer is. Now, by me being a student, I'm gonna always tap into the Western occultism shit. I'm gonna always tap into the Western occultism shit, because it's still useful and appropriate. You know what I'm saying? It's still useful and appropriate. It's still useful and appropriate. As of today. You know, this is a card pull today. I still dwell, my fellow people. You can probably see some of the, we still dwell in that area. But this here is straight direct. And I understand that Western occultism gives you something for the mind to play with. That's all I see. It gives you something for the mind to play with. So if you ultimately understand the cosmic principle behind all of this, which is consciousness, then everything else is play. Life is play. Oh, we got the motherfucking devil himself, Travis motherfucking Mages. So everything else is, oh shit, fool and play for the mind. It's still useful and it's still appropriate. But I see this as being, this non-dual path is so direct, especially with the next books we're going to be getting into. They literally coined it the direct path. I even think, let's see, Sri Ramana Maharishi, they call his path, well, not his path, but the way that his approach to the non-dual path, because you have plenty of people who have different approaches. Swami Vivekananda had a different approach from Sri Ramana Krishna a tad bit. Then you got Papi Jesus, which was his pupil, or whatever the word they call once you come from up under a sage or a guru. This was Papi G's guru, right? And they all got different approaches to the same shit. You see what I'm saying? But they call his path the lazy path, the effortless path, non-dualism. You see what I'm saying? That's all he wants you to do. Who am I? Question that I. It's the ego. And the more and more you question that I directly, every chance you fucking get, you question who is this I. The ego ultimately ends up dissolving. They're about killing the mind. That's probably a strong word to say, but for lack of better terms, they're talking about killing the mind, being done with the mind. Because the mind is who? Bina. The mind is what? Prakriti. And you ultimately are Purusha. Or the mind is goddamn Shakti, and you ultimately are Shiva. So be done with the mind. Be done with the mind is what they're talking about. And they classify the mind all inclusive with the ego. For those who don't know, here's a nice map, page 45 or top of shooting. Right? All of this is the mind. And you'll see them simultaneously call the mind the ego. They might not even make a difference from the two. They're like, fuck it. The mind, ego, same shit. So you got the manas, the analytical process, the memory, the ego, and the intellectual. That's not intellect. That's called what's the booty? The intellect, right? The higher intellect, right? I just went blank mind with the booty. But they will call all this the mind. They're like, it don't matter. All that shit is the mind. And that mind is composed of what? The 5 elements. Okay, I got try to say right. Oh damn, I missed some comments. What cool say? Hold up. I got a book recommendation, Dictionary of All Scriptures and Myth by G.A. Gaskell. bridges together a lot of different systems. Ooh, let me screenshot that. All right, I'll check that out myself. So that's what I see as far as non-dualism has done for me. And it, like I told y'all, it was based after I had a personal experience. And shit, we got Trav here. After I took his course, shit. Damn, Trav fast. He said just download it. Thank you. Hey, we got some real deal niggas who about their business on this channel, bro. That's what a nigga love to hear. Coop just put that shit. Trav said, I already downloaded it. Damn, I forgot what I was just talking about. It explains which part of the Antakarana each character for each myth is associated with. See, and that's real occult work right there. That's real occult work right there. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I've done. So we synthesize all this together. And my thing is like, okay, which probably has something to do with my past life, which my mind is what has reincarnated in the certain mental impression that I had from a past life that probably I played around with a lot of systems over past lives. That's what I believe. It only makes sense. I played around with a lot of systems, and ultimately in this life, it's like, okay, let's figure it out, buddy. Let's synthesize all this shit together. You're going to be incarnated, and they're going to be some motherfuckers named Brother Panic and goddamn Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine and Delbert Blair and Dr. Ben Clark, and there'll be some Hebrew Israelites and some RBG motherfuckers, and there'll be all these type of motherfuckers. And you just soak up all of that shit. And you just soak up all of that shit and then put it all together and synthesize for what you see. You know what I'm saying? So that's what ended up happening and bringing a nigga to this after I had that personal fucking experience, which is now being explained by what I'm reading. I don't know what the fuck I did that shit for. Why we just had that side note? Don't know. But maybe it meant something to somebody out there. It ain't gotta make sense to me no more. Let's see. In India, this great question did not find its solution in very ancient times, because as we have seen, the assumption of the substance behind the qualities, which is not the qualities, can never be sustained. Nay, even the argument from self-identity, from memory, that I am the I of yesterday because I remember it, and therefore I have been a continuous something, cannot be sustained. The other quibble that is generally put forward is a mere delusion of words. For instance, a man may take a long series of such sentences as I do, I go, I dream, I sleep, I move. What Sri Ramana say? Every time you hear that I, who am I? Who is this I that keep talking? Who is this I that keeps taking ownership? Who is this I that keep attaching itself to it? Let's see. Because he came way after goddamn Swami Vivekananda. Let's see. I dream, I sleep, I move. And here you will find it claimed that the doing, going, dreaming, and so forth have been changing. But what remained constant was that I. What remained constant was that I. So it seems here he's talking about the higher case I, the infinite I, the I awareness, the higher self. Therefore, they conclude that the I is something constant in Therefore, they conclude that the I is something constant and an individual in itself. But all these changes belong to the body. This, though apparently very convincing and clear, is based upon mere play on words. The I and the doing, going, and dreaming may be separate in black and white, but no one can separate them in his mind. When I eat, I think of myself eating. I am identified with eating. When I run, I and the running are not two separate things. Check this out, y'all. Listen to what he's saying. Thus, the argument from personal identity does not seem to be very strong. The other argument, the argument from memory, is also weak. If the identity of my being is represented by my memory, then it will have to be admitted that I do not exist at those times which I have forgotten. So if you forget something, then what, did you not exist? Is what he basically saying. So if you have no memory of you being fucking 4 months years old, did you not exist? All right. And we know that people under certain conditions forget their whole past. In many cases of lunacy of a man. Is that showing clear? Look like it is. And lunacy of a man. In many cases of lunacy of a man thinks of himself, thinks of himself as made of glass or being an animal. If the existence of that man depended on his memory, then he should have been made of glass, which not being so. We cannot make the identity of the self depend on such a flimsy thing as memory. So that knocks out what? What does that knock out, y'all? That knocks out Cheetah. All right? So flimsy as memory. Thus, we see the soul as a limited yet complete and continuing identity cannot be established as separate from qualities. We cannot establish a narrowed down, limited existence to which is attached a bundle of qualities. Because what do they tell you consciousness is? Consciousness does not have qualities. Qualities are things that change. To have qualities, you have to have change. And to have qualities, you have to be composed of what? The 5 tattvas, the 5 elements. They're always changing. They're always changing. Why do you think they showing you here? It comes out of the first one, the intellect, the mind, the first aspect of the mind that's created. Because the mind is a bundle of, it's a conglomerate of, it's a mixture of these. And that's what I think mental temperament is. Trav had dropped something real dope on Threads. And it was this lady was talking about, or this comedian, Indian dude, Middle Eastern dude, I'm not sure, but he was having a conversation about, oh yeah, white people, y'all love Buddhism, because I can't remember everything. And then people who go through more harder lifestyles, they have to find something that's more severe. And the white lady was breaking it down, so she articulated the shit so well. And it just hit me with like, okay, this is what is meant by mental temperament. Because like once you get into this shit over here, or the same thing like The Unfortunate was talking about. Like, if the student is ready, let us teach him all the way. But if he's not ready, because, like, his mind may not be ready. If his mind is not ready, what does that mean if your mind is not ready? It's not just that you just, excited. This is something new type shit. Like, oh, my God, this is something new. Like, that ain't going to work. It's going to really have to be an invisible driving force driving you. And I believe that mental temperament that you come in under is all about how your 5 elements are proportioned within your mind. Also your body too, but within your mind. Because that's what the mind is, a conglomerate of all of these, any goddamn way. So your mental temperament, you may have, 60% Akash, and then 12% value, and a little bit of earth, and then that go inside of your astrology chart. That's why I say your astrology chart is literally your karmic, your bio from your past life. Your bio, Ra is what's happening. What's happening? You done made it to the light. Let's see. When life is good, it's easy to practice Buddhism. That's what she said. Yeah, when life is good, it's easy to practice. Or that's what the comedian was saying. My bad, y'all. Let me read that again. When life is good, It's easy to practice Buddhism and yoga. When life is hard, it's more practical to cling to Islam, Christianity, or something more structured or immediate. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Whereas your mental temperament is probably gonna send you to something, especially if you haven't lived many lifetimes to go through or to place you in something. Let's just say so-called, because who can say what the fuck is advanced? I've met advanced Christians. God damn it. Let's be quite honest. You know what I'm saying? But when I say advanced, when we refer to advanced mean a wider spectrum of understanding. A wider spectrum of understanding. So I would classify this non-dualism as something very widespread, because what are they saying? All exists within consciousness. So they get what we went through yesterday. We open to understanding everything. So we understand that everybody is right based on their mental temperament. So yes, they're right from their understanding of where their mind is. So yes, Jesus is whatever they say he is. Or yes, goddamn Buddha was whatever the fuck they say. Or yes, goddamn whatever anybody want to say. Let's see here. No, Trav, that's really what I got from the video as well. I guess I just put my little extra what else I got from it as well. Something. Oh, okay. I think I got what you're saying. Now I'm reading and getting full context of what you're saying. I got you, Trav. I ordered most of these books you mentioned last night. Can't wait to see where I'm at a year from now. Reading Prior to Consciousness. Damn. Yeah. Prior to Consciousness. For those who caught it yesterday, bro, like, I've been tapping into it, bro. Like, that shit is... That's some advanced shit, man. That's all I say. That's some advanced shit. My bad, y'all. Y'all know we do little side tangents and shit. That's what we here for. All right. On the other hand, okay. Hold on, let's read what Rosa Flame just said. What got me over trying to wake up loved ones that seem like they might be about it was realizing that it really does take being down bad enough to trigger that. And I can't do that. Only life can. Facts. That's what it is about this shit. That's exactly. If y'all watching, please hit that like button. The likes definitely should match how many people are watching. I know sometimes we forget, but please, y'all, hit that like button. I gotta see them like buttons go up before we keep continuing. Gotta see them like buttons, not the little love emoji button, but the real like button. I think you gotta exit out or something like that and hit the like button. But like, that's facts though. Like, that's the only thing, bro. If I wouldn't have went through so-called what I call suffering, nothing, it wouldn't have brought me here, bro. It wouldn't have brought me here. If I didn't go through what I went through in the streets, bro, it wouldn't have brought me here. Like I told y'all, death ultimately brought me here. Witnessing and experiencing, not personal death, obviously not, but I guess you can say that the old me died. But just double tap the screen, Trav, so you can do that. Oh shit, I didn't know that. But ultimately, that's what brought me here. That's what brought me here. And that's the only thing they can bring. So it's like, you really gotta understand, like, when people lose family members, you gotta understand, bro, like, really, that shit be changing people's life, bro. That shit be changing people's life for the better, to get somebody else to connect to God. You see how all this shit is connected? None of this shit is not connected. You ain't went through enough suffering. You ain't gonna care to get this. You got all the money, you got all this, and you got all that. You're not going to care to get this. You're not going to care to get more connected. Like, everything's going perfect. What do I need to learn about God for? I'm straight. I was raised Christian, so I put my little ties in church, and sometimes I stop by the church. That may be good enough. Or none of it is good enough. Maybe a motherfucker too intellectual, and they winning on top of the world. And then, you know what I'm saying, they got to go through something tragic that ultimately pushes them here. I still don't see the likes matching the people watching. What's happening, y'all? What's happening, man? Suffering says suffering is really what got Bobby down into the esoteric. Then I ended up experiencing the sum of the shit. Then I experiencing some of the shit he went through. I lost my mother, and it changed my life forever. You see what I'm saying? The hero, like Trav just said, the hero's journey. The fucking hero's journey, bro. Like, we are all that same motherfucker. It may be mixed up in proportion differently, but it's all the same shit. Cause I tell people, like, coming up in the streets, you like, bro, you ain't have it hard, nigga. We had it hard coming up how we came up. Now I got your ear right ears. Then it's them monitoring spirits, bro. They refuse to double tap the screen. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. But like real shit, we all like we grew up always talking about like we had it hard. We went through the most. We went through the most. You know what I'm saying? We grew up. We ain't had shit. We ain't never had shit. These niggas got silver plates, silver spoons. Their mama got a nice house. Their mama got a job. Their mama got a. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro. Our identification with suffering, especially black people, bro. Our identification with suffering is so fucking strong, bro. We don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go. I had a consultation not too long. Bro, we don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go because we don't have any other identity outside of suffering. And I'm not just going to say black people, but all human beings. All human beings, to be quite honest. But obviously, that's my closer knit that I've grew up around and I only known my whole goddamn life, right? So, victim culture, bred into the identity. I rebuke in the name of Jesus. I rebuke victim culture in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, Yahshua. Ashe. I rebuke it in the name of Larry Woodruff, a.k.a. Brother Panic. Fix it, Black Jesus. Fix it. Sir Impeccable. Oh, man, the gang in here, y'all. The gang is in here tonight. All right. So, heavy identity with suffering. And that's why I say we, like Trav say the same shit, but we have to watch the language that we have to ourselves, bro. We don't even be knowing we be saying, I be catching myself. Like, damn. Hold up. Like, think about it. I could say some shit like, I feel sorry for that person. Or you can say some shit like, I feel sorry for that person. Like, hold up. Think about it. Now I have a better understanding. Like, after we dug into a little bit of Swami Vivekananda's, this right here, that karma yoga, is like the perfect way to practice. Like, we think a lot of people are doing things to help people, and it may look good to humanity, but on the inside, what they're really doing is still appeasing their ego, because they're looking at the next person as, oh, that person is suffering, that person is lower than me, and I'm above that person, so let me lend myself down to assist this person. Or you're like, okay, what's wrong with that? I got more money than that person. I'm above them. Not as I'm better than them, but I have something about me, something about this I says I am here and they are here, and I should lend a hand to them because they are lower than me at some level. But what all of it really is you got to see as one. I don't give a fuck. That's God. God can't be lower than me. I don't see you as something lower than me. You're not lower than me. So that's why I say, when I see motherfuckers ask for $1 to buy some cigarettes, or a motherfucker ask for $2 to buy some crack rock, which they never say, or ask for $3 to get a goddamn beer. Here, I got it. You can have it. You can have it. Yeah, real shit. Levels are imaginative as fuck. God is good, and all the time God is good. Won't he do it? Real shit. So we got to change our way of viewing it, because that's still the ego. I'm telling y'all, the ego will make you feel like you're doing something so goddamn, you know what I'm saying, so goddamn pure, when it's really coming from the ego. That's why, who is this I? Who is this I? I'm telling y'all, bro. And this is me practicing self-inquiry. So I'm telling you, you'll be able to peep yourself by getting that understanding, and that's the real karma yoga. That person is you. Matter of fact, ultimately, that person don't even exist. Only you exist. So that for you seeing them as something separate, which is the ego, which creates these manifest reality. But that's the illusion. That's actually you. So you don't view yourself as lower. You don't view God as lower. You know you don't. There's no concept of God as being lower. It's the same. So you assist that person like you assisting your goddamn self. And that's why I come on here and I talk the same way that I talk to my goddamn self. I talk to y'all the same way. We have gotten sidetracked. Let's continue. On the other hand, the argument of the ancient Buddhists seems to be stronger, that we do not know and cannot know anything that is beyond this bundle of qualities. So the ancient Buddhists saying we can't know anything beyond these 5 elements. All right? According to them, the soul consists of certain qualities called sensations and feelings. And an aggregate of these is what is called the soul. And this aggregate is continually changing. The Advaitist theory of the soul reconciles both these positions. The position of the Advaitist is that it is true that we cannot think of the substance as separate from the qualities. We cannot think of change and not change at the same time. It would be impossible. But the very thing which is called the substance is also the qualities. Listen to that. The very thing which is called the substance is also the qualities. What we just get through saying about seeing somebody as something different. You see in a different form, name, and function. But that's the illusion. They are the same thing. Let's see. It would be impossible, but the very thing which is called substance is also qualities. Substance and qualities are 2 things. Substance and qualities are not 2 things. You hear that? Substances and qualities are not 2 things. Stick with Swami Vivekananda. Y'all know how he like to talk and then bring it all the way around. It is the unchangeable that is appearing as the changeable. That's what they say, nati, not this, and not this. That's the beginning stage of Vedanta. That's the beginning stage of Advaita Vedanta, or non-dualism. They tell you that you're not this, you're not this, you're not the body, not the mind, not this and not that. And then what are you? Ultimately, you're pure unconditioned consciousness that is Brahman. And what is Brahman? Brahman is every goddamn thing. So they're telling you you're not this, and not that to get you detached as a human from the body-mind complex, and then bring you up to the top and say, oh, guess what? You are all of that. Same shit Bobby said that the priests had to go through in Egypt. They went through the priesthood 40 goddamn years and had them worshiping the deities and doing this and do that. And then the high priest would get them at the end of their what's the name? Just bring them in I'm imagining, just bring them into the goddamn temple and say, hey, all them goddamn guys you were worshiping, they ain't nothing but your ass. And just leave their ass to deal with it. Deal with it, nigga. Yeah, deal with it. The unchangeable substance of the universe is not something separate from it. The nomenon is not something different from the phenomenon. So the matrix is not different from God, or the matrix is not different from pure consciousness or the self. All right? But it is the very nomenon which has become the phenomenon. So this consciousness, or is Brahman itself, which has become the so-called matrix, which has become so-called prakriti, which has become so-called the 5 elements, which has become so-called the antakarana, the mind tools, which has become the 10 indriyas. All right? But it's the very nomenon which has become the phenomenon. There is a soul which is unchanging in what we call feelings and perceptions. Nay, even the body are that very soul. Come on, man. Hold up. There is a soul which is unchanging, and what we call feelings and perceptions. I think me and Trav were looking at something. Well, I think I said something. I posted something. Oh yeah, from the Sandman season 2 episode. And, you know, the young lady hopped on there and shit. I was about to respond, but goddamn it, Trav responded to say the same thing that I, because you know people get under the perception of you can sell your soul, you know. And before I can even respond, Trav said basically the same shit I was saying in his own words. So I'm like, shit. And then a young lady came through and she explained herself, and basically she wasn't talking about the soul. She was talking about people exchanging their values or their morals for something different. And that's what I was saying. Like, hey, that's all Jay-Z could have done. And he can't sell his soul. You know what I'm saying? No, facts though, Trav. She was a good sport. And that's why I respect. I'm like, you know what? That's 100. I respect that. She was a good sport. She wasn't just really one of the ones, y'all stupid. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all are coaches or energy drainers. Like, she wasn't on no shit like that. So I had the utmost respect for her. Hold up. Question for everyone. Is there a difference between Jnana Yoga and Kundalini Yoga? Is it a difference between consciousness and energy? I've been had this question on my mind for a long time. So on a relative sense, there is. On a relative sense, there is. But on the ultimate, there's not. Because one, see, this is what they call Jnana Yoga, the direct path of knowledge. Right? So when you're doing Kundalini Yoga, you are actually trying to line up these so-called unbalanced energies in the body, right? So what you're trying to do is do that to get to self-realization. All of the paths are leading you to self-realization. Karma yoga, goddamn Kundalini yoga, goddamn Bhakti yoga, Raja yoga. All of them are doing the same thing to lead you. Tantra. All of them are doing the same thing to lead you to self-realization. So there are different methods. The only difference is the method. Kundalini Yoga is going to try to get you to do it through the body by its original standpoint. Let me put this from my understanding. Okay, then look at what Trav just said. You could even say that the 8 limbs of yoga are all Kundalini Yoga, arms of one octopus. Damn. Right. Fuck. And it's right there. All one octopus. 8 limbs of the same shit. You see what I'm saying? All leading back to the same thing. What the fuck is that? Sound like Debo outside. So that would be my understanding of the differences. So what is it saying? Remember what we just talked about earlier? What is your mental temperament? You see what I'm saying? What is your mental temperament? What does it lead you to? Me personally, I think Jnana Yoga is more for motherfuckers like us of the occult mind. That's me personally. And that's obviously not saying that we obviously are mixtures. Nobody is just pure Agni, pure water, or pure Prithvi earth. Nobody's just pure Akasha. We are a conglomerate of all of these. So I got a little bit of karma yoga in me. I got a little bit of bhakti devotional yoga in me. I got very little hatha yoga in me. I understand. I mean, I have very little hatha yoga in me. Let me see. I understand. Thanks, No Way and Trav. I'm maybe feeling realization can't happen outside of Kundalini awakening. See, here's the thing about that, bro. Because that comes into, okay, let's just put it like this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay. No. Oh my God. Let me think about how to put this on. And what trying to say? My notes is just giving out some respect, bro. It's extremely rare to find a real one. Stay on the path. Ain't nut. ain't not spiritual cosplay over here in this side of YouTube. Ain't no spiritual cosplay over here in this side of YouTube. Facts. Appreciate you, Trav, bro. You know you been a solid one, bro. You know I always gotta show love as well, bro. So you know I appreciate it, bro. Real shit. Just on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause Trav a real one. Outside of this YouTube shit, and like he said, this ain't no cosplay, play shit. Dude, the real deal. That's why I fuck with him, bro. Cause what does Trav send you back to? What is he sending you back to? Over everything he talks about, bro, he sends you right back to yourself. Nothing Trav has put out has been go to this outside source. It may start off, maybe you take it as this is some outside source. Go to the outside source, but he's pushing you right back to the self, right back to yourself. And that's what the name of the spirituality has always been. Know thyself. Back to cool. Yeah, cool reframing. Facts. See, there's been so many self-realized people, but here's the thing about this thing, right? Kundalini yoga, as far as I understand it, as in the mixture of hatha yoga with bending and stretching the body. And I got another homeboy named Coop on here. That's what he do. Like, he teach classes. He been on here before. He been doing it for a long time too. He been on here. I'm surprised he ain't on here tonight. He probably show up. But me and him were having this conversation between the differences between the yogas. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of it is leading you, is trying to lead you to that place. But here's the thing about it. People are chasing a Kundalini experience, which can be very fucking dangerous. And that's why I was talking about on my story today. Like we chase a lot of concepts. And me getting more deep into this non-dualism has me, like, honestly, that experience I had at the top of 2024, for some reason, I'm not trying to chase it again. I've had the realization from it. And we keep chasing experiences. That means we're treating this shit as some fucking dopamine hit. Yeah. And like that's what we see a lot of. Like on the same shit Trav be saying, like motherfuckers keep running around here trying, I want to see this spirit. I want to see what do you want to see that spirit for? What are you doing? What are you trying to do? You trying to make this shit like it is a movie, but you trying to play around with getting to know the self. You running around it it's about getting to know the self. It's about getting to know the self. That's what I found, because I played around with the spirits and done rituals. And of course, my mind is going to give me what the fuck that I'm trying to receive. If the passion is burning, if the desire is there, it's going to come. But what are we really trying to do? The name of the game has always been know the self. It's always been that. It's always been that, bro. All right. Oh, yeah, that ain't no coincidence right there, Coop TGS. That ain't no coincidence. And shout out to Trav. Trav put me on these. You know what I'm saying? That top was Shooty up my game. That goddamn Sunkia Darshan upped my game. God damn it. The Tree of Life, Mystical Kabbalah, up my game. This Cosmic Doctrine, up my game. That's what I'm saying, sir, bro. Just keep going wherever your spirit leads you, bro. Keep going wherever your spirit leads you. And then synthesize all the information that you got, all the experiences that you got. Because that's what I ultimately ended up doing. And this is why I feel like this is the last stage here, buddy. This is the last stage here. I don't know what the fuck I did in my past lifetime, but goddamn it got me here. This is the last stage here. Straight, they call this Advaita Vedanta, or Jnani, or this Gnosis, or this path of knowledge. They call it the direct path. Direct, fuck it. We're going straight from Malkuth straight to Ain. Listen to what I'm saying. Straight from Malkuth to Ain. Not we going past Ain so far. We going straight from Malkuth to Ain. Fuck the rest of it. We going straight from Malkuth to Ain. The direct path. All right. No one, hold up. Another point of view we have gotten to the habit of thinking that we have bodies and souls and so forth. But properly speaking, there is only one. When I think of myself as a body, I am only a body. It is meaningless to say that I am something else. And when I think of myself as a soul, the body vanishes. The perception of the body does not remain. Listen. And when I think of myself as a soul, the body vanishes. The perception of the body does not remain. No one can have the perception of the soul unless his perception of the body has vanished. No one can have the perception of the substance unless his perception of the qualities have vanished. God damn, that's really all highlightable. All right? The ancient illustrations of Advaita. Look, that's all they talk about. That's their favorite line. The rope being mistaken for a snake. The ancient illustration of Advaita, of a rope being mistaken for the snake, may elucidate the point a little more. When a man mistakes the rope for a snake, the rope has vanished. And when he mistakes it for a rope, the snake has vanished. And only the rope remains. The ideas of dual or treble existence come from reasoning of insufficient data. And we read of them in books or hear about them until we come under the delusion that we really have a dual perception of the soul and the body. Let's read that again, and I will be highlighting. The idea of dual or treble existence come from reasoning on insufficient data. And we read them in books or hear about them until we come under the delusion that we really have dual perception of the soul in the body. But such a perception never really exists. We get taught dualism from the jump, y'all. We get taught multiplicities from the jump. Cosmic Puzzle Piece, peace. We got the gang here tonight. We don't need nobody else. But if they want to come, let them come. We got cups and ice on the shelf. Mix it with Coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. Bounce, 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 bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. I'm out ready to roll, trying to get this show on the road. Free R. Kelly, man. The perception is either of the body or of the soul. It requires no arguments to prove it. You can verify it in your own minds. That's why I like non-dualism. It's like, bro, fuck all the concepts. What is your everyday experience of the waking and the dreaming, the seer and the seen, the changeless and the changing? It's your everyday fucking experience. We ain't gotta have a philosophical wordplay about it. What is your everyday experience? Try to think of yourself as a soul, as something disembodied. You will find it to be most impossible. And those few who are able to do so will find that at the time when they realize themselves as the soul, they have no idea of the body. You have heard of, or perhaps have seen, persons on particular occasions have been in particular states of mind brought about by deep meditation, self-hypnotism, hysteria, or even drugs. what mushroom here is that? Or even drugs. From their experience, they might gather that when they are perceiving something internally, the external had vanished from them. This shows Come on. We've all had this experience, right? Or maybe not. It don't matter if you haven't had the experience. That don't make you more superior. So let me correct that before, who knows. That don't mean nothing. This shows that whatever exists is one. The unity is appearing in these various forms, and all these various forms give rise to the relation of cause and effect. The relation of cause and effect is one of evolution. The relation of cause and effect is one of evolution. The one becomes the other, and so on. Sometimes the cause vanishes, as it were, and in its place leaves the effect. If the soul is the cause of the body, the soul, as it were, vanishes from the time being, and the body remains. And when the body vanishes, the soul remains. This theory meets the arguments of the Buddhists that were leveled against the assumption of dualism of the body and the soul, by denying the duality and showing that the substance and the qualities are one in the same thing, appearing in various forms. Damn. Hold up, y'all. Broke my goddamn mechanism. My book holding mechanism. That's broken. How the fuck did that happen? Oh man. Niggas, man. Niggas always breaking some shit. God damn it. Well, gosh. Gee, gosh. By golly. We have also seen that this idea of the unchangeable can be established. Hold up. Damn. Okay, where we at? We have also seen that this idea of the unchangeable can be established only as regards the whole, but never as regards the part. The very idea of parts come from the idea of change or motion. Everything that is limited, we can understand and know because it is changeable. Listen, everything that is limited, we can understand and know because it is changeable. Listen, anything that you can think of spiritually that you know, anything that you can think of in non-spiritual terms, the only thing that you can understand is things that are limited. By the very understanding that we have of the mind has to be limited. And the whole must be unchangeable. Because there is no other thing besides it in relation to which change could be possible. Let's read that again. That's fire. Everything that is limited, we can understand and know because it is changeable, and the whole must be unchangeable because there is no other thing besides it in relation to which change could be possible. You got to have something to compare it to. So when they talking about consciousness as being the ultimate reality, as that's what you are, and you cannot know Brahman. He who knows Brahman does not know Brahman, and he who does not know Brahman knows Brahman. That's why it's a paradox the higher you go up. When you start talking about shit like Kether, when you start talking about shit like Ain Sof and Ain so far, there has to be, bro. I mean, it has to be, but there's nothing to compare it to. It's just, you can't even really use the number one. That's why they call it nothingness. Because if you use one, that automatically presupposes there has to be a two. Am I making sense? Somebody let me know in the chat. Does that make sense to you? I ain't speaking till we get somebody to let me know. Make sense? Okay. I love how the unfortunate causes the negative existence, right? Okay, Zero says totally makes sense. I just dropped a poll in the chat, y'all. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. You cooking, okay. I even understand better the term nothingness. Facts. Okay, bet. Bet. Okay. Okay, so it's making sense. Alright. Okay, here we go right here. Change is always in the regard to something to which does not change, or which changes relatively less. According to Advaita, therefore, the idea of the soul as universal, unchangeable, and immortal can be demonstrated. The difficulty would be as regards the particular. What shall we do with this old dualistic theories, which have such a hold? I need everybody going into the what's the name and vote. Because if y'all don't want no more of this shit, hey, I'll stop YouTube. Just keep it to my goddamn self. This dualism, which has a hold upon us, which we all have to pass through. These beliefs in limited, little individual souls. Hold up, fuck. I gotta read that last sentence again. Okay. What shall we do with the old dualistic theories, which have such a hold upon us, in which we all have to pass through? See that? We all have to go through dualistic understandings. I got 5 votes, and look how many people on here. What the fuck, y'all? Come on, man. 5 votes, really? Really, nigga? Really, nigga? We outside in front of Barnes and Nobles every day. What up, nigga? Waiting on you niggas. Waiting on you niggas to put a vote in. 5 people? Really? We have seen that we are immortal as the whole. But the difficulty is that we desire so much to be immortal as parts of the whole. Listen, we have seen that we are immortal as the whole. Here we go, though. But what's the difficulty? The difficulty is that we desire so much to be immortal as parts of the whole. You don't want to be the whole. You want to be immortal as a part of the whole. We have seen that we are infinite and that what the fuck? Why didn't he put a comma right there? And that is our real individuality. Our real individuality is the whole. Our real individuality is the infinite. But we want so much to make these little souls individual. So who's doing it? Who's causing the stress and the strife, y'all? Who's causing the stress and the strife? You are, by just not being what you naturally are. Pure awareness. Pure unconditioned consciousness. We are creating the levels. We create the levels in our fucking mind, bro. Appreciate you, Zero. They got a couple more people to vote. We creating the levels in our mind, bro. He said you are already immortal and you are the whole. But the difficulty is that we desire... Man, I got to highlight that. What am I doing? Give me a second. We have seen that we are immortal as the whole. But the difficulty is that we desire so much to be immortal as parts of the whole. You want to keep your little ego and be immortal. That's why I keep telling you, watch how we grew up. I'm God, nigga. I'm God, nigga. I'm the God of the whole motherfucking universe, nigga. We still can get some more votes, y'all. Do you like non-dualism or no? That's very simple. You will not be outcasted because you say no. But I'm assuming you here, so you're going to vote on the poll inside of the chat? Yes. We have seen that we are infinite and that is our real individuality. But we want so much to make these little souls individual. You want to make yourself smaller. What does the ego do? The ego sets limitations, man. The ego is the limitation setter. It's the identifier. That is this is that. When you automatically do that, you're presupposing that there's something separate, and you make something cut off from the whole. What becomes of them when we find in everyday experience that these little souls that we claiming, that these little souls are individuals with only the reservation that they are continuously growing individuals? Okay, now we got more people voting. Thank you. They are the same, yet not the same. The I of yesterday is the I of today, and yet not so. It is changed somewhat. Now, by getting rid of the dualistic conception, that in the midst of all these changes, there is something that does not change, and taking the most modern of the concepts, of the conceptions, that of evolution, we find that the I is a continuously changing, expanding entity. If it be true that man is the evolution of the mollusic, Mollusic, what the fuck is that? Right, Cosmic Puzzle Piece. Your individuality is the whole. You see what I'm saying? You see how they're teaching you to have less attachment with the body mind, because there are individual bodies, there are individual minds, but they're pulling you out and telling that you the whole, the ultimate identity is the whole, not this little ego. Now, okay, we already did that. I don't know what. Only it has become expanded a great deal from mollusic to man. I get molecule to man. It has been a continuous expansion towards infinity. Therefore, the limited soul can be styled an individual who is continuously expanding towards the infinite individual. Perfect individuality will be reached only when it has reached the infinite. But on the side of the infinite, it is a continuously changing, growing personality. Okay, that's what we got Rose of Flame for. Molesic, like primitive evolution in this case. Okay, bet. Okay. Rose of Flame, my dog. One of the remarkable features of Advaita system of Vedanta is that it harmonized the preceding systems. See? Advaita is something so new. It's probably like 1,200 years old, if that. 1,300 years old. It has taken a conglomerate of all of these religions and synthesized it into this level of understanding. One of the remarkable features of Advaita system, of Vedanta, is that it harmonized the preceding systems. Our ancient philosophers knew what you call the theory of evolution, that growth is gradual, step by step. And the recognition of this led to the harmonizing of all preceding systems. Thus, not one of these preceding steps was rejected. See how they didn't reject the Buddhists or the Hindus? The fault of the Buddhist faith was that it had neither the faculty nor the perception of this continual expansive growth. And for this reason, it never even made an attempt to harmonize itself with the pre-existing steps towards the ideal. Same thing that what gets caught up in Christianity and Islam. They're not trying to bridge shit together. They're trying to stick to their old ways. Right? They were rejected as useless and harmful. This tendency in religion is itself most harmful. This tendency in religion is itself most harmful. A man gets a new and better idea, then he looks back on the idea he has given up and forthwith decides that they were mischievous and unnecessary. What is happening with spirituality nowadays? Huh? What is happening with religion? Obviously, it's not nowadays, because this is 1896 that was happening. He never thinks that, however cruel they may appear from his present point of view, they were very useful to him. Niggas who shit on Christianity, they were very useful to him. That they were necessary if he was to reach his present state. Man, come on, man. That's why I don't shit on Christianity over here. If it was not for my grandmama having me in that church every Sunday, boy. He never thinks that, however cruel it may appear from his present point of view, that they were very useful to him, that they were necessary if he was to reach his present state, and that every one of us had to grow in a similar fashion. I know everybody on the YouTube channel has to grow in a very similar fashion, not the same, but very similar. Living first on crude ideas, deriving benefit from them, and then arriving at a higher standard. Nigga, this cosmic P. Nigga, now we at cosmic P, nigga. Nothing bigger than our P, nickel and wiggle. My nickels and wiggles. And my Mexican wiggles. With the oldest theory, therefore, Advaita is friendly. Dualism and all the systems that preceded are accepted. Do you hear that? Dualism and all systems that are preceded are accepted by Advaita. Not in a patronizing way, but with the conviction that they are true, being manifestation of the same truth. Let's read that again. Advaita is friendly. Dualism and all the systems that preceded are accepted by Advaita. Remember, Advaita means non-dual. Ad means none. Vaita means dual. Not in a patronizing way, but with the conviction that they are true, being manifestations of the same truth, and they all lead to some conclusion that Advaita has reached. So what cool when we were just talking about the different paths, because yoga is a dualistic system, Samkhya is a dualistic system, Tantra is a dualistic system. They all lead to the same shit, because there's nowhere else for anything to lead to. Christianity leads to the same shit. There's nowhere else for shit to lead to. Now, with these different things, they may take you a little bit longer. They may. But ultimately, they all lead to the same. Didn't Bobby Hemmings say the same shit? Ultimately, even the dead niggas out here in the streets, we all going to the same place. We all going to the same place. Okay. With blessings and not with curses should be perceived all these various steps through which humanity has to pass. Therefore, all these dualistic systems have never been rejected or thrown out, but have been kept intact in Vedanta, in the dualistic conception of an individual soul, limited yet complete in itself, finds its place in Vedanta. According to dualism, man dies and goes to other worlds and so forth. Do you hear that? According to dualistic religions, man dies and goes to other worlds and so forth. But he's going to get to it. I'm hoping that he gets deeper into it. These ideas are kept in Vedanta in their entirety, for with the recognition of growth. In Advaita systems, these theories are given their proper place by admitting that they represent only a partial view of the truth. From the dualistic standpoint, this universe can only be looked upon as creation of matter or force. Matter or force. force, or form. Or is it at? A matter of force. So, from the dualistic standpoint, the universe can only be looked upon as creation of matter and or force. Can only be looked upon as the play of creation will. And that will, again, can only be looked upon as separate from the universe. Thus, from such a standpoint, a man has to see himself as composed of a dual nature, body and soul. So what do we like to say? We're not a human having we're not a human having a spiritual experience. We spiritual having a human experience. Same shit, dualistic. And this soul, though limited, is individually complete in itself. Such a man's ideas of immortality and of the future life will necessarily accord with his idea of the soul. These phases have been kept in Vedanta, and it is therefore necessary for me to present to you a few of the popular ideas of dualism. So let's get into it. According to this theory, we have a body, of course, and behind the body there is something called a fine body, or the subtle body, right? This, which was the subtle body, the astral body, the etheric body, the mental body, the causal body, right? This fine body is also made of matter, only very fine. So it's a fine version of matter. It is the receptacle of all of our karma. Your subtle body is a receptacle of all of your karma, which I just call the mind. That's the mind reincarnated. It's a conglomerate of all of those elementals, those subtle bodies. Hey, bro, try, bro. Thick little shit, little fine shit. You know what I'm saying? My little fine shit. You know what I'm saying? Little fine shit, little fine shit. All right, bro, hold up. What was it? Damn. We're gonna read that one again. According to this theory, we have a body, of course, and behind the body there is what is called a fine body. The fine body. Hey, Trav, yeah, man, you need to do that. To go that live in person lecture thing, bro. You got to do that live. And when you were saying it on your live stream the other day, I couldn't comment because I was driving. You know what I do. So yeah, bro, you need to do that live in person. You know, I'm there. That's off topic, but I just thought about it for some reason. It just came to my mind. According to this theory, we have a body, of course, and behind the body there is what we call a fine body. This fine body is also made of matter, only very fine. It is the receptacle of all of our karma, of all of our actions and impressions, which are ready to spring into visible forms. Right? All of our actions and all of our mental impressions, which are ready to spring up into visible forms. Every thought that we think, every deed that we do, after a certain time becomes fine, goes into seed form, so to speak, and lives in the fine body in a potential form. After a time, it emerges again and bears its results. These results condition the life of man. Thus, he molds his own life. Man is not bound by any other laws except those which he makes for himself. This is dualistic. He's still speaking dualistic, right? Let's get this understanding, though. Because I see a lot of spirituality is not talking about, when they talking about reincarnation, they ain't coming back in karma. They not getting very deep and detailed in specifics of what it is that's reincarnating. Our thoughts, our words, and our deeds are the threads of the net which we throw around ourselves, for good or for evil. Once we set in motion a certain power, we have to take full consequence of it. That is the law of karma. Behind the subtle body lives the jiva, or the individual, form in the size of the individual soul. According to some, it is very small, like an atom. According to others, it is not so small as that. According to others, it is very big, and so on. This jiva is a part of the universal substance, and it is also eternal. From time immemorial it has existed, and from time without end it will exist. It is passing through all these forms in order to manifest its real nature, which is purity. Every action that retards this manifestation is called an evil action. Do you hear that? Every action that retards this manifestation is called an evil action. That's what you call an evil. What's stopping you from going into purity? Damn. Oh, I missed the whole shit. Maybe that was meant to be highlighted too. Every action that retards this manifestation is called an evil action. So also with thoughts. And every action and every thought that helps the jiva to expand, manifest its real nature is called good. So what we doing over here is good, baby. One theory that is held in common in India by the crudest dualists as well as by the most advanced non-dualists is that all the possibilities and powers of the soul are within it and do not come from any external source. They are in the soul in potential form. And our task is simply to manifest these potentialities. Let me see these shits in the chat. Okay, Lisa says, like the dualistic saying, as above, so below, which is missing as within, so without, which is relative to matter and energy in certain contexts. Right. Damn, I ain't even thought about that in a minute. Right. Zero says, sounds like the memories of the mind being shielded energetically. And maybe that's the reason so that you don't get all them goddamn memories. It's to protect your goddamn ass. You don't need all the memories from the past life coming in. Right? Alright. Looks like we got all the votes in. At least as far as how many people are viewing. One theory is held in... Okay, yeah, we read that. The dualists also have the theory of reincarnation. So that is the dualistic theory of reincarnation. And now I understand it better by understanding the Vedic HGA. That answers my question though. The Vedic Higa. I don't know what that means, Rosa Flames. Tell me. Shit, you gotta answer my question. You got your question answered. Now answer my question. What's HGA? Or were you trying to say Jiva? Cause they call it on liberation while living. They will call them a Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti, liberated while living in a human body. Oh, holy guardian angel. Okay, got you. Okay. The dualists also have the theory of reincarnation, which says that after the dissolution of this body, the jiva will have another. And after that has been dissolved, it again will have another, and so on. Either here or in some other world. But this world is giving the preference, since it is considered the best of all worlds for our purpose. Do y'all hear that? This is considered the best world of all of the worlds for this purpose. They say when you go to these other lokas, these other heavens, these other worlds, these other dimensions, you only go there and till your credits run dry. You don't get to put in new work and become more advanced on these new levels of heaven or whatnot, right? You don't get to get any more work there. You only get to play out what you have done in the human body by these understandings. right? By their understandings of the different heavens or the different lokas. The human body is the only place. The manifest reality here is the only place, according to the Hindus and the Vedas, where you get the chance to have self-realization. Think about that when you're hearing somebody say, fuck this place. This is the only place you get to get the chance to come back to the self. Think about that. You can make this place your enemy if you want to. It's up to you, man. And I get it, man. But I keep telling everybody, the suffering is only happening in the fucking mind. If you get an understanding of the mind and take your identity from being of the mind and put your identity into the motherfucking pure unconditioned consciousness, that's called liberation. That's called self-realization. That's called free. Now you are free. Now you are self-realized. Now you are enlightened. Made simple. Stop identifying with the body and the mind. Start identifying with pure unconditioned consciousness. Liberation. Enlightenment. Done. Obviously, it's not just that simple, but that's it. Other worlds are conceived of as worlds where, okay, here we go. We finna get into it. Other worlds are worlds conceived of as worlds where there is very little misery. But for that very reason, they argue there is less chance of thinking of higher things there. Goes back to what me and Trav was just talking about. What we was just talking about. Without the suffering, or without the so-called suffering, you would have not ever thought about higher things of this nature. Let's read that statement again. I'm going to highlight it. Other worlds have conceived of as worlds as where there are little misery. But for that very reason, they argue there's less chance of thinking of higher things there. Living in this world, he finna say the same shit that I was just saying. Living in this world, hold on, let's see. Damn, I'm missing. That's insane. Cloud Puzzle Please said, that's why I came here. Let me read it on my goddamn phone. I mean on the computer. Oh, we got my boy Coop the Yogi. Koopananda. What's happening, dog? Cloud Puzzle Please said, that's why I came here. I can feel it. Facts, bro. Facts. This is the most blessing place, Zero said. And Rosa Flame saying, or saying other things of a similar type. All right. Oh, my screen may be frozen. Oh, there it go. Let's see. Other worlds are conceived of as worlds where there is very little misery, but for that very reason, they argue there is less chance of thinking of higher things there. Living in this world, which contains some happiness and some good deal of misery. The jiva sometime or other gets awakened, as it were, and thinks of freeing itself. But just as very rich persons in this world have least chance of thinking of higher things. Yeah, nigga, wonder why you weren't born rich. Wonder why we was all born and sent to the motherfucking ghetto. Yeah, wouldn't be no me if I incarnated in a wealthy family. Or a family like the Cosbys, which never fucking existed, which was fucking fake. But, yeah. Nope. Slap his little ass right in the projects where crack selling is going on. And he got drunks and drug addicts in his family and robbers and gangbangers and thieves and all that type shit. We can wake up outside and hear that shit. Niggas getting shot, see that shit. Slap his ass right on in the middle of that. Yeah. Who was that saying that? From a dualistic perspective, it would be me, placing myself there, or my past actions. Cosmic Puzzle P says the suffering here is so sensational. Come on, man. You got people who actually like getting fucking their nipples clamped during sex. Pain can be so sensational to a lot of people. It's probably the only place that can happen at. The jiva sometime or other gets awakened, as it were, and thinks of freeing itself. But just as a very rich person in this world have the least chance of thinking of higher things, so the jiva in heaven has little chance of progress, for its condition is the same as that of a rich man. Do you hear that? Heaven is the same condition as what it is for a rich man on earth, only intensified. Ooh, I know you niggas want to go to heaven. I know you niggas want to go to heaven. Think about being the richest man alive times 100,000. God Busby said Shiva wanted Kali to step on him. Freaky. Hey, Cosmic Busby said some shit on one of the videos, like, or was it you or Sir and Pickle? I think it was you, Cosmic Puzzle Piece. It's like, damn, bro, if you think about it, Kali standing on Shiva's chest and his heart is the same thing as standing on P. Damn. And he gave me an idea, and I ain't gonna put it out there yet, but he gave me an idea. I'm like, oh, that's it, buddy. Boy, that is it. Yeah, you know, Shiva and Kali freaky as hell anyway, you know, from that perspective. So, god damn. But now you gave me something right there with that one, my boy. My boy. It is a very fine body which knows no disease and is under no necessity of eating or drinking, and all its desires are fulfilled. Damn, that sound, heaven sound good, don't it, y'all? The jiva lives there, having enjoyment after enjoyment, and so forgets all about its real nature. You niggas and wiggers and Mexican niggas would never in your life think about something of a higher nature if you had all your desires fucking fulfilled, bro. You wouldn't. Why you think niggas go to jail and become Muslim, bro? Why you think niggas go to jail and become Muslims, bro? Why you think, what's the name, P on Baby Boy said, man, I don't know, Jody Joe. I'm about to get right with God. I don't want to get up to heaven and Jesus be like, turn your ass around, nigga. Gotta get my life together, Jody Joe. Get up there to heaven and Jesus be like, turn your ass around, nigga. Oh, shit. But there are some souls. Damn, I'm missing some comments. Oh, everybody laughing. That's epic. Yeah, real shit. Yeah, Trav. Yeah, Zero. Yeah. Yeah, he hit me with that, and I'm like, damn. That is standing on motherfucking P. Because Shiva also represents pure, unconditioned consciousness. Pure fucking consciousness. Stand on that shit, y'all. We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up. Stand on P. Alright. But there are some souls in these higher worlds which, in spite of all enjoyments, can evolve still further. Uh-oh. So, I spoke too soon. Let's highlight that. And remember, he's still going through dualistic concepts. Y'all know how Vivekananda like to do it. He like to give you all of it and then hit you with the fireball. Some dualists I hope I can speak as good as this nigga one day. Some dualists conceive of the goal as the highest heaven, where souls will live with God forever. They will have beautiful bodies and will know neither disease nor death or any evil, and all their desires will be fulfilled. From time to time, some of them will come back to this earth and take another body to teach human beings the way of God. Uh-oh. Ascended masters? Ascended masters? Coming down from Hesed? That's that heaven that they talking about? Hesed? In the tree of life? Let's read that again. Some dualists conceive of the goal as the highest heaven, where souls will live with God forever. They will have beautiful bodies and will know neither disease nor death nor any evil, and all their desires will be fulfilled. From time to time, some of them will come back to this earth and take another body to teach human beings the way to God. And the great teachers of the world have been such. As your ascended masters, they were already free and were living with God in the highest sphere, but their love and sympathy for the suffering humanity was so great that they incarnated themselves again to teach mankind the way to heaven. Of course, we know that Advaita holds that this cannot be the goal or the ideal. Uh-oh. What up, man? You don't want us to go to heaven, Mr. Non-dual? What's wrong with heaven? We get to chill with God. We got perfect bodies. All our desires, man. We don't know no disease. Everything is fulfilled. Ain't no evil. What's up, man? Why you raining on my parade, Mr. Non-dual? Goddamn, heaven seemed pretty fun to me. Pretty cool to me. Of course, we know that Advaita holds that this cannot be the goal or the ideal. Boldness must be the ideal. Oh, bodilessness, my bad. Bodilessness must be the ideal. The ideal cannot be finite existence. Anything short of the infinite cannot be the ideal. And there cannot be an infinite body. Ooh. 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 Can't be no infinite body. Infinite existence. Anything short of infinite cannot be the ideal, and there cannot be an infinite body. Oh, y'all dead in the chat. Okay. I thought I just read some gems. My bad. That would be impossible for the body. That would be impossible, for the body comes from limitation. There cannot be infinite thought, because thought, man, listen, man, hey, highlightable. That would be impossible, for the body comes from limitation. There cannot be finite, infinite thought, because thought comes from what? Thought comes from limitation. Any thought you can ever think, it's limited. Words are limited. Words ultimately limit every goddamn thing. We have to go beyond the body and beyond the thought too, says Advaita. And we have also seen that according to Advaita, this freedom is not to be attained. Listen, this freedom is not to be attained. It's already yours. What we've been pushing over here. That ain't goddamn going get to no goddamn level to become free. You already are. And non-dual says all you have to do is realize it. Ignorance is your only thing sticking between you and freedom. Ignorance. What's the ignorance? You think you are the body and the mind. You are not. You are pure, unconditioned consciousness, ever free, the birthless, the deathless, the endless, pure awareness. You always free. Come on, man. We only forget it and deny it. Perfection is not to be attained. It is already within us. And mortality and bliss are not to be acquired. We possess them already. This now we talking non-dual. Non-dual. What What is ultimately non-dual saying? Immortality and bliss are not to be acquired. We possess them already. We possess them already. Cosmic Puzzle Piece says Callie does the dance with concepts as her necklace, right? And she would love to watch, like he is in a strip club enjoying a motherfucking show. Come on, man. Okay. Koot TGS says gems. Then we have Koot the Yogi, Koopananda, saying Christianity introduced me to eternal life. But it's still too vague. This shit putting the pieces together for real, bro. Facts. Facts. Zero said, we are all the end and the beginning. Be more of it is an illusion. Come on, man. We are already the beginning and the end. The birthless and the deathless. The beginning and the end. Rosa Flame said, I love Vivekananda. No, facts. Facts. Bro, spitting. They have been ours all the time. If you dare to declare that you are free, free you are it. Free you are this moment. If you dare say, I dare you, nigga, to say you free. Because then right then and there you are free. If you say you are bound, guess what? If you say you are bound, bound you will remain. If you say you are suffering, if you say life is hard, then life is hard. If you say you are free, then you fucking are free. Then you fucking are free. Fuck you, bloody fuck. Bloody fuck you, fuck you. I have told these ideas of the dualists and other schools of philosophers. You can take whichever you like. That's the beauty about it. You can take whichever one you like. Whatever you like. Whatever you can have, whatever you like. Hey. The highest ideal of Vedanta is very difficult to understand. Here we go. The highest ideal of Vedanta is very difficult to understand, and people are always quarreling about it. And the greatest difficulty is that when they get hold of certain ideas, they deny and fight over ideas. Take up what suits you and let others take up what they need. That's why I say it's a certain mental temperament that this is actually for. It's not for everybody. And I get that. But everybody is still fucking welcome over here. That's fucking perfectly fine. If it's not, it doesn't mean somebody is less than. Let people take up what fits, what suits their mental temperament. That's the path you should take. If you are desirous of clinging to this little individuality, listen, if you are desirous of clinging to this little individuality, to this limited manhood, remain in it. Fulfill all these desires and be content and pleased with them. If your experience of human life have been very good and nice, retain it as long as you like. And you can do so, for you are the markers of your own fortunes. None can compel you to give up your human life. You will be men as long as you like. None can prevent you. If you want to be angels, you will be angels. That is the law. But there may be others who do not even want to be angels. What right have you to think that there is... Hold up. What right have you to think that theirs is a horrible notion? You may be frightened to lose 100 pounds, but there may be others who would not even wink if they lost all the money that they had in the world. Oh, because he was speaking in London. Their money is in pounds. I thought he was talking about weight, but yeah. But there may be others who wouldn't even wink if they lost all the money that they had in the world. There have been such men, and there still are. There still are. Why do you dare to judge them according to their standards? You may cling to your limitations and And these little worldly ideas may be your highest ideal. You are welcome to them. It will be to you as you wish. But there are others who have seen the truth and cannot rest in these limitations, who have finished with these things and want to get beyond. Who here has been to that place and understand what he is talking about? Let's put a star by that. Those who have finished with these things and want to get beyond. Let me stop and talk about that, man, because that's where niggas, it's like, that's why I don't have the desire to be so. I did have it, you know, because I grew up teenager up until shit probably 2 years ago, or 2023 when I just said fuck rap. We got some people here who from my hometown who know, so you know, I wanted to rap in a fame, and I'm actually happy that I didn't get that. Now nigga ain't gonna turn down $1,000,000. But you know, I'm not going out here desiring, oh man, I gotta be a millionaire. I gotta be a millionaire. Fuck that. Fuck that. Ultimately. And relatively. Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm not out here running trying to goddamn build up generational wealth. I'm sorry if that offends some people who thinks that's what we here to do it. I'm not trying to build up no fucking legacy. If these words on this YouTube travel through so-called illusionary time, so the fuck be it. That's great. So other people can have self-realization. But other than that, I'm not trying to build up no goddamn legacy. I've seen enough. I had to have to be able to get to this point and really mean it. Now, you know, nigga put on some fly clothes and take a little trip like I'm taking a little trip for my birthday next week and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Play around a little bit around this motherfucker. But my desires are not heavily attached to continuing this life in the normal way that everybody seems to be thinking that's actually the answer, but everybody ends up being fucking depressed and burnt out and don't know who the fuck they are. Okay, let's see where we at. Okay. Okay. The world, with all this enjoyment, is a mere mud puddle for them. Why do you want to bind them down to your ideas? You must get rid of this tendency once for all. Accord a place to everyone. So he was talking to obviously the whole high society of the UK. You know what I'm saying? London during that time in 1896, right? The ones who came up with this standard that we living in now during that age. I once read a story about some ships that were caught in a cyclone in the South Sea Islands, and there was a picture of them in the Illustrated London News. All of them were wrecked except the English vessel, which weathered the storm. The pictures showed the men who were going to be drowned standing on the decks and cheering the people who were sailing through the storm. Be brave and generous like that. Do not drag others down to where you are. Another foolish notion is that if we lose our little individuality, there will be no morality, no hope for humanity, as if everybody had been dying for humanity all the time. As if everybody had been dying for humanity all the time. God bless you. If in every country there were 200 men and women really wanted to do good to humanity, the millennium would come in 5 days. We know how we are dying for humanity. This is all tall talk and nothing else. The history of the world shows that those who never thought of their little individuality were the greatest. Those who never thought of their little individuality, this ego, were the greatest. Those who were so-called, common terms, humble, or I would say in humility, were the greatest. Were the greatest. Benefactors of the human race. They were the greatest benefactors of the human race. And that more men and women think of themselves. And that the more men and women think of themselves, the less they are able to do for others. The more you think of yourself, the less you are able to do for others. One is unselfishness. What do we talk about? What are we talking about? Do some karmic work for others without thinking of them as less than you. Think of them as just like you. The self. Ultimately, they are you. They're nothing else but you. One is unselfishness, and the other selfishness, clinging to little enjoyments and desiring to continue the continuation and reputation of the state of things are utter selfishness. They arise not from any desire for truth. Their genesis is not in kindness for other beings, but in the utter selfishness of the human heart, in the idea I will have everything and do not care for anyone else. This is as it appears to me. I should like to see more moral men in the world like some of those grand old prophets and sages of ancient times, who would have given up 100 lives if by so doing they could benefit one little animal. Talk of mortality and doing good to others. Silly talk of the present time. I should like to see more men like Gautama Buddha, who did not believe in a personal God or a personal soul, never asked about them, and was a perfect agnostic, and yet was ready to lay down his life for anyone, and worked all his life for the good of all, and thought only of the good of all. Well has it been said by his biographer in describing his birth that he was born for the good of many, as a blessing to the many. He did not go to the forest to meditate for his own salvation. He felt that the world was burning and that he must find a way out. Why is there so much misery in the world? Was the one question that dominated his whole life. Do you think we are all as moral as Buddha? The more selfish a man, the more immoral he is. And so also with races. That race which has been the most self-centered has also been the most cruel. We know who he talking about. He talking shit to these folks' face, bro. Dude is something else. How many more pages we got? Hold up. God damn, y'all. We got some pages to go. And it's 9:46. We gonna continue. Those races have been the most self-centered, has been the most wicked in the world. There has not been a religion which has clung to dualism more intensely than that founded by the Prophet of Arabia. Now he's talking about Muslim. And there has not been a religion which has shed more blood and more cruel to others. In the Quran, there is the doctrine that a man who does not believe his teachings should be killed. It is merciful to kill him, and the surest way to get to heaven. And where there are beautiful houris and all sorts of sense enjoyments is to kill these unbelievers. Think of bloodshed. Think of the bloodshed that has been in the consequence of such beliefs. In the religion of Christ, there was little of crudeness. There was a very little difference between pure religion of Christ and that of Adanta. And I think he does not know the history of Christianity by saying that shit. I don't think Swami Vivekananda knew the history of Christianity and his crusades by saying that one, which is cool. We know it. So, same shit. You find there the idea of oneness, but Christ also preached dualistic ideas to the people in order to give them something tangible to take hold of, to lead them up to the highest ideal. So dualism plays its chance. That's why I said Christianity ultimately is a non-dualistic religion. The same prophet who preached, "Our Father which art in heaven," also preached, "I and my Father are one." And the same prophet knew that through the Father in heaven lies the way to "I and my Father are one." There was only blessing and love in religion of Christ. But as soon as crudeness crept in, but as soon, maybe hold up, my bad. Let me take back what I said earlier. But as soon as crudeness crept in, it was degraded into something not much better than the religion of the prophet of Arabia. So my bad. He do know what he talking about. It was crudeness indeed. This fight for the little self, this fight for the ego, this clinging to the I, this desire not only for its preservation in this life, but also for its continuance after death. This they declare to be unselfishness. This, the foundation of mortality. Lord, help us. If this be the foundation of morality, and strangely enough, men and women who ought to know better think that all morality will be destroyed if these little selves are let go and stand aghast at the idea of morality can be based only on their destruction. Let me read some of these comments. Oh shit. Okay. Zero, this vivekananda must have been good at reading people by looking into their soul through their eyes. Damn. Is ignorance the only way to bliss? Okay, yeah. Lisa, totally. Their level of perception is same. I think he was so empty that everything reflect on him. He was like an X-ray. Damn. So our paths are only different by degrees. Need to hear this. I can be patronizing at times. Yeah, bro. See, that's when you go into observer mode, Cosmic Puzzle Piece. That's when you go into observer mode. You gotta have that grace, bro. He was talking about Christ was spitting, not necessarily the follower was doing. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. You right, Coop. I picked up on it later on. Yeah, okay, Rosa Flame say the same thing. Right. Yeah, I picked up on that later on. I spoke too soon. Sometimes I speak too soon. Sometimes I didn't spoke too soon. Okay. We got like 4 pages left. The watchword of all being, of all moral good, is not I, but thou. Who cares whether there is a heaven or hell? Who cares if there is a soul or not? Who cares if there is an unchangeable or not? Here is the world, and it is full of misery. Go out into it as Buddha did and struggle to lessen its misery or die in the attempt. Forget yourselves. This is the first lesson to be learnt. Whether you are a theist or atheist, whether you are an agnostic or Vedantist, a Christian or a Mohammedan, the one lesson taught by all is the destruction of the little self and the building up of the real self. Two forces have been working side by side in parallel lines. The one says, I. The other says, not I. Their manifestation is not only in man, but in animals. Not only in animals, but in the smallest of the worms. The Tigris and the plunges. Oh, that's the rivers. The Tigris River and the Plunges River. And the Tigris. Oh, the Tigris. that plunges her fangs into the warm blood of a human being will give up her own life to protect her cubs. The most deprived man who thinks nothing of taking the lives of his brother men will perhaps sacrifice himself without any hesitation to save his starving wife and children. Thus, throughout creation, these two forces are working side by side. Where you find the one, you find the other too. The one is selfishness, the other is unselfishness. The one is acquisition, the other is renunciation. The one takes, the other gives, from the lowest to the highest. The whole universe is the playground of these two factors. It does not require any demonstration. It is obvious to all. You have to keep in mind that the Hindu faith has deal with some crazy stuff, being right on the border of the Islamic world. Facts. And I know, I forgot what's the name of that city, because India and what's the name was just beefing, like, because you got some people over there that's Muslim too, some Indians that's Muslim. That borderline is real thin. Well for help. But help does not come from without. It comes from within ourselves. The help does not come from the outside. It comes from inside. As always, Kali destroys the little cell. Yeah, Pakistan, that's it. Kali destroys the little cells in the story. Yeah, right. That's what she's doing. That's what she got hanging around her neck. Wow. Then she goes crazy until she remembers the P. Shiva. Come on, cosmic puzzle piece. Come on, cosmic puzzle piece. Talking that shit, man. Cried to all the gods in the universe. I cried for years. And in the end, I received help. But the help came from within myself. How many here have had this revelation, y'all? How many here have had this revelation? Cry to all the guys in the universe. I cried for years. In the end, I received help. But the help came from within myself, y'all. Come on, man. Cool T just said, damn, vivekananda, I ain't even add for more sauce. Come on, man. Unsnapping the puzzle piece, right. And I had to undo what I had done by mistake. That is the only way. I had to cut the net which I had thrown around myself. I did it. You did it. You did it. And the power to do this is within. Of this, I am certain that not one aspiration in my life will well-guided or ill-guided has been in vain. No obstacles will apprehend you. Do you hear that? He's saying this in 1896. I am certain that not one aspiration in my life, well-guided or ill-guided, has been in vain. But I am the resultant of all my past, both good and evil. I have committed many mistakes in my life. But mark you, I am sure that without every one of those mistakes, I should have not been what I am today. And so I am quite satisfied to have made them. I do not mean that you are to go home and willfully commit mistakes. Do not misunderstand me in that way. But do not mope because of the mistakes you have committed. But know that in the end, all will come out straight. That is the cosmic. Come on, bro. It's the cosmic P being spoken. This is the no obstacle apprehended being spoken. Right here, 1896. I cannot be otherwise because goodness is our nature. Purity is our nature. And that nature can never be destroyed. Our essential nature always remains the same. What we must understand is that we call mistakes, what we call mistakes or evil, we commit because we are weak, and we are weak because we are ignorant. Man, come on, man. Some vivekananda, boy. Imagine Swami Vivekananda in a YouTube age. I prefer to call them the mistakes. The world calls them the word sin, although originally a very good word, has a certain flavor about it that frightens me. Who makes us ignorant? We ourselves. We put our hands over our eyes and weep because it is dark. Take the hands away there. Take the hands away, and there is light. The light exists always for us. The self-engulfing nature of the human soul. Do not hear what your modern scientific men. Do you not hear what your modern scientific men say? What is the cause of evolution? Desire. The animal wants to do something, but does not find the environment favorable and therefore develops a new body. Who develops it? The animal itself, its will. You have developed from the lowest amoeba. Continue to exercise your will, and it will take you higher still. This will is almighty. If it is almighty, you must say, why can I not do everything I like? But you are thinking only of your little self. Look back on yourselves from the state of the amoeba to the human being. Hold up, Lisa. Where you from, Lisa? And what's your original language? Please let us know. Hell yeah. We call it the Ihi. Is it Ihi or Ahi? Or Aha? Or Aha? See, that's translated as inner strength. Why can I not do everything? Okay, no. Who made all that? Your own will. Can you deny then that will is almighty? That which has made you come up so high can make you go higher still. What you want is character, strengthening of the will. If I teach you, therefore your nature is evil, that you should go home and sit in a sackcloth in ashes and weep your lives out weep your lives out because you took certain false steps, it will not help you, but will weaken you all the more. And I shall be showing you the road to more evil than good. If this room has been full of darkness for thousands of years, and you come in and begin to weep and wail, oh, the darkness, will the darkness vanish? Strike a match and light comes out in a moment. What good will it do to you to think of your lives? To think all your lives, oh, I have done evil. I have made many mistakes. It requires no ghost to tell us that. Bring in the light and the evil goes in a moment. Build up your character and manifest your real nature. The effulgent, the resplendent, the ever pure. And call it up in everyone that you see. Call it up in everyone that you see. I wish that every one of us had come. I wish that every one of us had come to such a state. You know, the last page here, or the last page and a half. That even in the vilest of human beings, we could see the real self within. And instead of condemning them, say, rise, thou effulgent one, rise, thou who art always pure, rise, thou birthless and deathless one, rise, almighty one, and manifest thy true nature. Somebody get on your nerves, somebody being a bitch ass nigga and an asshole, say that to him in your head. Rise, thou effulgent one. Rise, thou who art always pure. Rise, thou birthless and deathless one. Rise, almighty one, and manifest thy true nature. These little manifestations do not befit thee. Say that to a motherfucker. This is the highest prayer that Advaita teaches. Well, let me highlight that because I didn't know that. I ain't seen that nowhere else. That's the highest prayer. That's the highest prayer you can. Okay. That's a prayer. Imagine saying that prayer over a motherfucker. Rise, nigga. You birthless, deathless motherfucker. You pure motherfucker. You effulgent one. You almighty motherfucker, you. These little manifestations cannot befit thee. Amen. Ashe. This is the higher prayer. This is the highest prayer that our Veda teaches. This is the only prayer to remember our true nature, the God who was within us, thinking of it always as infinite, almighty, ever good, ever beneficent, selfless, be fret of all limitations, and to remember. And to remember that because that nature is selfless. It is strong and fearless. For only to the selfish comes fear. For only to the selfish comes fear. For only to the selfish comes fear. He has nothing to desire for himself. Whom does he fear, and what can frighten him? What fear has death for him? What fear has evil for him? So if we are Advaitins, or if we are non-dualists, we must think from this moment that our old self is dead and gone. Come on, man. What fear? What death? What goddamn? What else he say? What evil? We must think from this moment that our old self is dead and gone. The old Mr. and Miss so-and-so are gone. They were mere superstitions. And what remains is the ever pure, the ever strong, the almighty, the all-knowing. That alone remains for us. And then all fear vanishes from us. Who can injure us? The omnipresent? All weakness has vanished from us. And our only work is to arouse this knowledge in our fellow beings. That's what we do right here on this motherfucking YouTube channel and with this community in this chat. We see that they too are the same pure self, only they do not know it. We must teach them. We must help them to rouse them up their infinite nature. This is what I feel to be absolutely necessarily all over the world. These doctrines are old, or older, possibly, than many mountains. All truth is eternal. Truth is nobody's property. No race, no individual can lay exclusive claim to it. So what we're talking about here, it's not Indian people's shit. I was listening to one of the swami say, like, nobody laid claim to the Upanishads in the Vedas. So the Indians did. Or the non-dual, damn, I forgot what term he was talking about. Maybe the Vedas. He said, they don't own this shit. We don't own this shit. Our people don't own this shit. Nobody laid claim to it, so we laid claim to it. He was talking about something specific, so I might be fucking it up. But nobody laid claim to it. Yeah, we done, bro. We got one paragraph. Listen to this last paragraph, bro. Listen, hold on. Let me finish, bro. Stay here. Don't leave. Okay, so we already know about these old doctrines, right? Old or possibly the many mountains, all truth is eternal. Truth is nobody's property. No race, no individual can lay exclusive claim to it. Truth is the nature of all souls. See? Don't leave too soon, bro. Truth is the nature of all souls who can lay special claim to it. But it has to be made practical, to be made simple, for the highest truths are always simple. Remember that. The highest truths are always simple. It's not all this methodology that you gotta fucking learn and concepts. It's always simple. So that it may penetrate every pore of human society and become the property of the highest intellect. In the commonest of the minds of man, women, and child at the same time. All these are racinations of logic. All these bundles of metaphysics, all these theologies and ceremonies may have been good in their time. Listen, all of this logic, all this metaphysics, and all these theologies and all these ritual ceremonies have been good in their own time. But let us try to make things simpler and bring about the golden days when every man will be a worshiper in the reality and every man will be the object of worship. Will be the object of worship. My niggas, we have completed Vedanta, Practical Vedanta 4. What do y'all feel about that? All right, Coop. Now I give you permission to go to bed, nigga, after you done heard the non-dual sermon. Oh, Marie. Okay, yeah, what did Lisa say? Oh, I'm in New Zealand. And I am a Maori. Your first pronunciation, Ihi, is correct. Damn, all we in New Zealand. That's what's up, man. That's what's up right there. That's what's up. Glad we got people from New Zealand tapping in that's even interested in this music. I have never met a person from New Zealand. I'm glad that you have come to this channel and that this information has interested you, or maybe my delivery, maybe you're already studying this information, maybe this delivery and the people in the chat has excited you to be over here. So you are welcome over here with the Cosmic P Pushers. We typically would do this on a Sunday, which we did this on Sunday. We did read last Sunday, Practical Vedanta Part 3. But I will be out of commission the next weekend. I will not be here. So I decided to come back again tonight. Damn. How far? New Zealand it's in the evening for y'all. It's 10 o'clock here. Thank you, Rosa Flame. Thank you. Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, for real though, Coop. That's what's up. Zero says, so amazing. This was so big for me. Now I understand better, deeper stuff and learn something new. Thank you, my Gnosis. Hey, y'all. I appreciate y'all. We literally have one more chapter left we will get to, and it's called The Way of Realization of the Universal Religion. And he did this in the January 28, 1900, at a church in Pasadena, Southern California. Because I think that's where Pasadena is. So we'll run through that. And then, as I told y'all, our next book. So Lisa, I know you're new. I hope y'all have access to Amazon out there. I'm not sure, so forgive me for my ignorance. This will be the next book we will be group reading. It's on Amazon for like $5. But if you have to get the PDF, I definitely suggest get the PDF. So what we have learned here today, y'all, is that you are forever, you are birthless, you are deathless. You have to live and understand and stand on this cosmic P. That is our standard operating procedure. Stand on the principle, which is consciousness, which is pure awareness, which is birthless and deathless, which is always existing, that does not rise, it does not fail, it does not do none of that. It is always what it is. That's our standard operating procedure. Every chance you get, stand in observer mode. Observe your selfish and ego-centered thoughts. Observe your body. Observe your mind. Observe the people around you. Observe the things that you've done in the past. Have a broader standpoint of view and a more accepting standpoint of view. Now let me look at the votes from the chat. So look, y'all. We got 6% that said no. 94% said yes. More of it. So it looks like that 6%, you are out. You are out. You did not win that one, 6%. We got 94% that say they fucking with the non-dualism. So we're going to keep pushing this P. S-O motherfucking P. Stand on principle. And as always, no obstacles will apprehend you. Those obstacles seem like obstacles, but they really are opportunities for what? For you to prosper over pain. What's the prosperity? It's not just money. It's to have knowledge of self. As you seen, Swami Vivekananda was just pushing this no way pop shit. That no obstacles will apprehend you shit. In 1890s, nigga, this is nothing new. And I thought I came up with a cool name to rap. Swami V been pushing this shit. So as always, man, love y'all. Hope the rest of y'all week is going great and phenomenal. I'm getting ready to celebrate. I guess you can say celebrate, but enjoy a trip for my birthday next week. So peace, love. Maybe I'll do another video this week. Maybe not. Who knows? But y'all know how I am. Uploading shorts on YouTube and on Instagram. Holla at y'all. Peace. Yeah, man. Hold up. Trav, where the fuck you been at, nigga? Oh, Zero birthday Friday. Yeah, cancer game. You know what's happening, Mr. Gemini over there. Yeah, boy. Them cancer coming through, my boy. Cancer coming through, my boy. I studied most of what you've been saying through my own path through life. Oh, and it's just after 3 p.m. Okay, so it's still Wednesday for y'all. So it's 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So y'all 7. New Zealand is 7 hours behind. Okay. Damn. That's a big ass difference. Hey, I'm happy to have you over here, Lisa. Hopefully you have subscribed. Real shit. We'll love to keep you coming back in over here. We'll love to keep you coming back in over here. Yeah, me and Zero Cancer Gang on your ass, Trav. Ain't no Geminis over here, homie. Ain't no Geminis over here, homie. What set you claim, homie? When your birthday, homie? What if niggas start asking? When your birthday, nigga? When your birthday, nigga? When your birthday? Happy early birthday, Zero. Look at them Geminis hating and lame, bro. They hating on us, Zero. We gotta go, man. We out, man. Travis came and hated on the cancers, man. We out, man. Stand on motherfucking principle. Oh. No, bro. My pockets are long and empty. Even this account belongs to my woman. Well, I wish more money to them pockets. I'm wishing more money onto them pockets. We got a hating ass Gemini over here, so we got to get on up out of here. More money, more power, more prosperity, more love, more observation, more acceptance into your life, y'all. More observatory, more grace. Have grace for others. Remember that. We out.